My beloved brothers and sisters, when Allah intends to bless you with wealth, rizq, and openings you never imagined, He does not send it suddenly without signs. Allah, out of His mercy, prepares your heart, your patience, and your trust in Him before He opens the doors of provision. Many of us pray for financial ease, but we overlook the subtle reminders and clear signs that Allah places in our path. If you pay attention, you will realize that before rizq arrives, Allah shows you signals so that you may be ready to use it wisely and not waste it. Today, I will share with you 6 clear signs Allah sends before big wealth and rizq comes into your life. When Allah intends to bless a believer with wealth and rizq, He first prepares them through trials that demand patience. This patience is not simply the ability to wait, but it is the art of remaining steadfast, calm, and trusting Allah when everything seems uncertain. Often before a breakthrough in rizq, life becomes a little heavier, responsibilities feel more demanding, and challenges seem to surround you from all sides. It is in those very moments that Allah is testing whether you are capable of handling what is coming. Because if you cannot carry the weight of a small trial with patience, how will you carry the responsibility of wealth, success, and provision without arrogance or misuse? Patience is the training ground of the believer. Just like a student is tested before being promoted, Allah allows trials to enter your life so you may prove your trust in Him. This is why sometimes, right before your rizq expands, you may face delays in payments, struggles in work, or sudden financial setbacks. These are not signs of rejection, but rather preparation. Allah wants to see if you will complain, or if you will continue making dua with conviction. He wants to see if you will abandon your salah in frustration, or increase your worship with humility. Patience builds the discipline required to manage wealth wisely. Many people ask for rizq, but if it were given to them instantly, they would waste it, misuse it, or even forget Allah, because they never learned how to endure. Trials teach you gratitude, and they purify your heart from arrogance. When you taste hardship, you begin to appreciate ease differently. You start valuing every small blessing. You realize that even the little food you have, even the roof above your head, and even the small income you earn, are all from Allah. And when bigger wealth comes, you are less likely to take it for granted, because you already know what it feels like to live with less. Patience during trials also connects you deeper with Allah. When everything is going well, it is easy to be distracted. But when you are tested, your does become sincere, your sajda becomes longer, and your heart leans only towards Allah. This closeness is a priceless gift. It softens your soul, so that when rizq arrives, you do not think of it as a result of your own effort alone, but as a mercy granted by Allah. And when you see it as a mercy, you will spend it wisely, you will share it generously, and you will protect it with gratitude. So when you find yourself in a season of trials, facing delays, or struggling financially, do not assume Allah has abandoned you. It may very well be the exact opposite. It could be a clear sign that He is preparing you for greater wealth and rizq that is about to enter your life. He is strengthening your patience, so that when you finally receive it, your heart is ready to carry the blessing without it becoming a burden. When Allah is about to expand your rizq, one of the clearest signs is that unexpected opportunities start appearing in your life. These are the moments when doors you never thought about begin to open, and paths you never planned for suddenly come before you. Sometimes you may have been striving hard in one direction, putting in effort without seeing results, and then out of nowhere, an entirely different door presents itself. This is Allah's way of showing you that rizq is not confined to your limited understanding, and it can reach you from directions you could never imagine. Allah reminds us in the Quran that He provides from sources we do not expect, and these opportunities are often subtle beginnings of that promise manifesting in your life. At first, you may doubt whether such opportunities are truly for you. They may feel too good to be true or not aligned with your current plans. But this is part of the beauty of Allah's planning. What you think is impossible becomes possible, because He arranges the means, the people, and the timing to align in your favor. You might meet someone randomly who offers guidance for your career or business. You might stumble across an idea, a project, or a chance to invest that feels perfectly suited for you. Or you might even get an invitation, a job offer, or a proposal that you never actively pursued. These are not coincidences, but carefully written moments of destiny that Allah brings into your life as a sign that your rizq is being prepared. The believer must learn to recognize these signs without arrogance but with gratitude. Many times people miss these opportunities because they expect rizq to arrive in the exact form they imagined. They think provision only comes through their job, or their business, or the efforts they have been making. But Allah shows you that He can deliver it in entirely different ways. Sometimes, He blesses you with a new skill that leads to income. Sometimes, He sends someone to support you financially or emotionally until you find stability. Sometimes, He guides you towards a market, a client, or a project you had no prior access to. And at other times, He gives you wisdom and creativity that allows you to see profit where others only see problems. These opportunities also test your readiness to act. It is one thing to ask Allah for rizq, but another thing to seize the doors He opens for you. Allah does not hand wealth without effort. He shows you the path, and then you must walk it. When unexpected chances arise, you are expected to use your skills, your time, and your trust in Allah to make the most of them. If you hesitate out of fear, laziness, or doubt, you may miss what was meant for you. That is why opportunities often come wrapped in small beginnings. They may not look grand or impressive at first, but when pursued with sincerity and reliance on Allah, they grow into the source of immense provision. Another beauty of these unexpected opportunities is that they align perfectly with your life at the right time. Perhaps before you were not ready, and that is why you did not see them earlier. Allah holds back certain doors until your heart, your faith, and your maturity are strong enough to handle what lies behind them. When the opportunity comes at the right time, you feel a sense of clarity, an inner strength that pushes you forward. Even if you still fear uncertainty, something in your heart whispers that this is the moment to act, and that is Allah's guidance settling within you. When Allah sends these opportunities, they are often accompanied by ease. Things that once felt stuck suddenly start flowing. Bureaucratic hurdles get removed, people who were resistant begin to cooperate, and the path feels smoother than before. This ease is a sign that Allah Himself is facilitating matters for you. Even if challenges arise along the way, you find solutions coming more naturally. You sense that Allah is with you, and this confidence pushes you to move forward without hesitation. It is important also to note that not every opportunity is for you, and not every open door leads to barakah. Allah's opportunities are usually marked by peace in the heart, even if there is some fear of the unknown. If a chance is pulling you towards haram, dishonesty, or exploitation, then it is not a rizq from Allah, but rather a distraction. Real opportunities from Allah carry purity, they inspire growth, they are halal, and they lead you closer to Him rather than further away. That is why you must couple your recognition of these doors with constant dua and istikhara, asking Allah to guide you to what is best, and to protect you from what seems attractive but is harmful. So when you start noticing doors opening in places you never expected, when chances begin to appear without you forcing them, when people begin to show up with offers, advice, or support that aligns with your goals, know that this is a clear sign of Allah preparing to send rizq into your life. These opportunities may look small at first, but with patience, trust, and effort, they may very well be the very means through which Allah brings you the wealth, stability, and blessings you have been praying for. One of the most powerful signs that Allah is preparing you for wealth and rizq is when your connection to Salah and du'as becomes stronger. Sometimes you notice that even when life feels heavy, your heart is pulled towards prayer more than before. You find yourself waking up for Fajr with a sense of urgency, or you begin making extra du'as after every Salah with sincerity. This shift is not random, it is Allah drawing you closer to Him before granting you something bigger. He wants your foundation to be firm, because wealth without faith can become a distraction, but wealth with strong worship becomes a blessing that benefits not only you but others as well. When your Salah improves, it is as though Allah is polishing your soul and cleansing your path. You may feel a new level of khushu in your prayer, where your mind is calmer, your heart is softer, and your tears fall more easily. These are not ordinary moments, they are signs that Allah is responding to your pleas and preparing to answer your prayers in ways you never imagined. Many people overlook the connection between Salah and rizq, but in reality, every sajda you make is a seed planted in the unseen, and Allah allows those seeds to bloom when the time is right. If you notice your desire to pray more, to read Quran more, and to call upon Allah more, it is a sign that provision is on its way. Another sign within this connection is the way your du'as become more detailed and consistent. Perhaps before you would make a short du'a without much focus, but suddenly you find yourself speaking to Allah, as if He is the only one who understands you. You start asking not just for wealth but for barakah in it, not just for success but for guidance to use it wisely. This change in the nature of your dua shows maturity of the heart, and Allah responds to such sincerity with openings of rizq that are pure and lasting. The Prophet Muhammad taught us that Allah loves when we call upon Him repeatedly, and when He inspires your heart to do so, it is a sign that His mercy is near. At times you may also notice that your heart feels restless until you pray. You could be busy, distracted, or even tired, yet there is a pull towards Salah that you cannot ignore. This pull is Allah guiding you back to Him, showing you that the real source of provision is not your job, your skills, or your efforts, but your connection to Him. The more you lean on Him in prayer, the more He opens for you doors that you could never have opened yourself. When you start realizing that every dua is an investment, every sajda is a step closer to your rizq, your faith strengthens, and your patience grows. Salah also teaches you discipline, which is crucial when wealth arrives. A person who cannot keep to the discipline of 5 daily prayers may struggle to handle the discipline wealth requires. Allah strengthens your routine of worship so that when provision expands, you do not lose yourself in laziness or arrogance. The prayer times become reminders that no matter how busy you become with wealth or opportunities, you must always return to Allah. This balance ensures that rizq remains a blessing, and not a test that drags you away from your deen. Along with Salah, your duas begin to take on a special sweetness. Sometimes you will feel as though your heart is pouring out everything it has been holding back, and you sense relief in simply asking Allah. Other times, you may feel goosebumps or even tears when making dua, because deep down you sense that Allah is listening closely. This nearness is one of the greatest signs before rizq arrives. It is as if Allah is preparing your tongue to ask, so that He may give in abundance. Even the way you make dua changes in this stage. Instead of only asking for yourself, you begin to include your family, the ummah, and others in your supplications. This expansion of your concern is a reflection of Allah, preparing you to handle greater responsibilities. Wealth is not meant only for personal use, but also for helping others. By guiding you to pray for others, Allah is softening your heart, so that when He blesses you with wealth, you naturally use it for the benefit of those around you. This stronger connection to Salah and dua is also a protection. Wealth can sometimes corrupt people, making them arrogant, greedy, or negligent. But when Allah grounds you in worship before giving you wealth, He ensures that you remain humble and grateful. You learn to see every coin as a trust from Him, every opportunity as a gift, and every comfort as a chance to give thanks. In this way, your wealth does not pull you away from Allah, but rather pulls you closer. So when you notice that your salah feels heavier in meaning, your duas feel sweeter, and your heart longs for worship even when you are busy, recognize it as a clear sign. Allah is preparing you, cleansing your soul, and opening your heart before He opens the doors of rizq that you have been praying for. Another clear sign that Allah is preparing you for wealth and rizq is when you begin to feel a deep dislike and detachment from haram sources of income. This shift is not just about avoiding major sins, but about becoming more sensitive to what is pure and what is doubtful. You may notice that opportunities which once seemed attractive to you, but were built on dishonesty, exploitation, or unlawful means, now feel uncomfortable and heavy on your heart. This is Allah protecting you and purifying your rizq before increasing it. Wealth that comes from haram sources carries no barakah, and often it destroys peace, health, and relationships. So when Allah intends to bless you, He first creates a barrier in your heart against what is impure, so that the rizq that comes to you will be clean, beneficial, and lasting. This detachment can appear in subtle ways. You may find yourself in a workplace or business environment where cutting corners, lying, or engaging in unethical practices is common. Before, you might have ignored it, but now you feel disturbed by it and long for something better. This inner discomfort is not random, it is Allah awakening your conscience. He is reminding you that true wealth is not in numbers but in barakah. You may even notice that when you think about earning through questionable means, your heart feels uneasy, your sleep is disturbed, and your mind cannot find peace. That unease is a divine warning, guiding you to leave behind what will harm you spiritually, even if it looks profitable in the short term. At times, Allah will even close doors to haram income for you. A job may end suddenly, a deal may collapse, or an unlawful opportunity may simply slip away. In the moment, you may feel disappointed, but later you will realize it was a protection. Allah never takes away something except to replace it with something better. By closing the doors to haram, He is preparing to open doors of halal rizq that carry blessings. This is why believers are advised to trust in Allah's plan when something unlawful becomes inaccessible, because it is often a sign that a greater provision is on the way. Another part of this detachment is the desire for purity. You begin to care more about where your money comes from and how it is earned. Even small details that others may ignore start to matter to you. You want your earnings to be halal, your business to be transparent, and your dealings to be free of injustice. This desire for purity is a reflection of your spiritual growth, and it shows that Allah is refining your soul, so that when wealth does arrive, you will value it as a trust and not just as a possession. Wealth can be a test just as much as poverty. And one of the ways people fail that test is by chasing after money without caring whether it is halal or haram. But when Allah strengthens your heart against unlawful means, He is preparing you to pass that test. He is reminding you that rizq is not just about material gain, but about spiritual well-being too. The Prophet Muhammad taught that flesh nourished with haram has no place in paradise, and this is why Allah guards the believers' rizq by removing haram desires from their path before granting them wealth. Sometimes this sign also comes in the form of sacrifice. You may have to let go of a job that pays well but involves dishonesty, or you may refuse a deal that looks profitable but carries deception. This sacrifice may feel difficult at first, but it is actually a preparation for something greater. Every time you choose to leave haram for the sake of Allah, He promises to replace it with something better. That better replacement may not come instantly, but it always comes at the right time, often in ways far beyond what you imagined. Your detachment from haram sources is also a way Allah builds your trust in Him. By closing off these doors, He is guiding you to realize that your sustenance is not tied to people, jobs, or shady opportunities, but to Him alone. He reminds you that what is written for you will reach you no matter what, and you never need to compromise your faith to earn it. This realization makes your faith stronger, and it also makes you more grateful when halal rizq flows into your life. So when you notice that your heart feels heavy about unlawful earnings, when you feel restless about questionable practices, or when you find yourself losing interest in opportunities that do not align with your deen, recognize that as a powerful sign from Allah. It means He is protecting your wealth before granting it, ensuring that what comes to you is not just abundance in numbers, but abundance in blessings and barakah. Another sign that Allah is preparing you for big wealth and rizq is when you begin to feel content with the little that you already have before receiving more. This stage of contentment is not about giving up your ambitions or refusing to strive, but about reaching a state of gratitude where your heart finds peace with whatever Allah has already provided. Instead of constantly looking at what others own, or feeling restless about what you do not have, you start noticing the blessings in your daily life. You see value in the simple food on your plate, the small comforts in your home, the income that covers your needs, and even the ability to wake up and breathe another day. This inner contentment is one of the most powerful signs that bigger rizq is near, because Allah does not increase for a heart that is ungrateful. He increases for the one who says Alhamdulillah even in scarcity, and He opens doors for the one who learns to value the little before asking for more. Gratitude and contentment train your soul for responsibility. When a person is discontent, no matter how much they are given, they will always feel poor and unsatisfied. But when someone learns to be content with little, they build the character needed to handle abundance. A believer who is grateful in small blessings will naturally be grateful in big blessings. And gratitude is the key to barakah. Allah promises in the Quran that, when we are grateful, He will surely increase us. So when you begin to feel a sense of calmness with what you have, and your heart stops racing after what others are chasing, this is a clear indication that Allah is preparing you for increase. Contentment also shifts your perspective. Instead of comparing your life to people who seem richer or more successful, you begin to compare yourself to those who have less, and you realize how blessed you already are. You see someone struggling without food, and you thank Allah for your meal. You see someone homeless, and you thank Allah for your shelter. You see someone drowning in debt, and you thank Allah for your stability. This mindset of gratitude not only brings peace to your heart, but it also opens the way for more blessings, because Allah loves the servant who remembers Him in both good and difficult times. Another aspect of this sign is that you stop chasing wealth out of desperation. Instead of being obsessed with money, you start to trust that Allah will provide when the time is right. You continue to work hard, but your work no longer controls your happiness. You are no longer crushed by delays, nor do you lose hope when something does not go your way. This balance of striving while being content is a powerful combination, and it often signals that Allah is preparing to entrust you with more. because when you are not enslaved by wealth, you are better able to handle it when it comes. Contentment also purifies your intention. Many people ask for wealth only to satisfy their desires, but when you learn to be content with little, your intentions for wanting more begin to shift. You start wanting wealth not just to enjoy luxury, but to support your family, to give charity, to help the needy, and to live a life of dignity without falling into dependence on others. These purified intentions are a sign of maturity, and when Allah sees that your wealth will be used with sincerity and responsibility, He opens the doors of rizq in ways you could not have imagined. Sometimes this sign also shows up in how you handle small blessings. For example, when you receive a small increase in income, instead of wasting it, you spend wisely, save a little, and perhaps even share with others. When Allah sees how you manage a small blessing with gratitude and wisdom, He entrusts you with bigger ones. If you misuse small rizq, then big rizq may become a burden, rather than a blessing. So when you start valuing the little things, using them well, and thanking Allah for them, you are essentially proving yourself ready for the abundance that is on the way. This stage of contentment brings with it a sense of peace that no wealth can buy. You may still have dreams and ambitions, but you are no longer restless or desperate. You work with trust, you earn with gratitude, and you wait with patience. This is when you begin to feel light inside, because your heart knows that your rizq is written, and will reach you in its time. And when Allah sees that your heart is no longer greedy or ungrateful, He sends wealth to you not as a test that drowns you, but as a blessing that elevates you. Another sign that Allah is preparing you for wealth and rizq is when you feel a sudden urge to be generous and charitable, even before you receive abundance. You begin to notice that your heart feels lighter when you give, and you start looking for ways to help others, even if it is with something small. This inspiration is not random, it is Allah planting within you the spirit of generosity, so that when bigger wealth comes, you will already have the habit of giving. Many people make the mistake of thinking that they will start giving in charity once they become rich, but the truth is that generosity is a quality that begins with whatever you already have. If a person cannot give when they have little, they will struggle to give when they have more, because the love of wealth will have already taken over their hearts. When Allah puts that desire to share and give into your heart before the arrival of wealth, it is a clear sign that He is preparing you for the responsibility that comes with abundance. This sudden generosity may appear in small actions. You might find yourself buying food for someone in need, helping a friend in difficulty, or even giving away possessions that you no longer use. It could also be as simple as sharing knowledge, advice, or time with someone who benefits from it. These actions may feel small to you, but in the eyes of Allah, they are big, because they show that your heart is being softened and prepared for greater blessings. Allah loves those who give, and He promises that charity does not decrease wealth but increases it. When you act on the urge to give, you are proving that you trust Allah as the ultimate provider, and this trust becomes the key that unlocks more rizq in your life. Sometimes this generosity even comes at a time when you yourself are struggling. You may not have much to spare, but still you feel a push in your heart to give from the little that you have. This is one of the most powerful signs, because it shows that your faith is stronger than your circumstances. You believe that Allah will replace what you give, and you act on that belief with sincerity. It is in those moments that Allah's mercy descends, and doors of rizq begin to open in ways you never expected. The Quran reminds us that whatever we spend in the path of Allah, He will replace it, and often He replaces it in multiples. So when you find yourself becoming more generous, even in times of need, understand that it is a divine preparation for greater wealth. Generosity also cleanses your wealth before it increases. Every time you give, you are purifying your earnings from pride, greed, and selfishness. This purification makes room for barakah, because wealth without generosity is heavy and harmful. People who hoard their wealth without sharing often find no peace in it, but those who give, even a little, experience a sweetness and lightness in their hearts that no material possession can provide. When Allah inspires you to give before He gives you more, He is ensuring that your wealth will remain a blessing and not a burden. Another aspect of this sign is the way you start seeing giving as an opportunity rather than a loss. Before, you might have hesitated to part with your money or belongings, but now you feel excitement in being able to help someone. You start to realize that giving is not about decreasing your wealth, but about planting seeds for your future. Each act of charity is like a deposit into your account with Allah, and He promises to return it with increase. When your mindset shifts in this way, it is a clear sign that Allah is preparing you for abundance, because only a heart that sees giving as an honor can handle wealth with wisdom. This urge to give also expands your concern beyond yourself. You begin to notice the struggles of others more than before. The poor, the orphans, the sick, and even people around you who silently suffer come into your awareness. Your compassion grows, and with it grows the desire to use whatever you have to ease the burdens of others. This compassion is a reflection of divine mercy placed in your heart. Allah chooses to prepare certain people for wealth by making them aware of the needs of others, so that when He gives them abundance, they know exactly where to use it. Without this compassion, wealth becomes selfish and destructive, but with it, wealth becomes a means of spreading goodness. Sometimes you may also notice that when you give, opportunities start coming back to you almost immediately. You might help someone in need today, and tomorrow you receive unexpected support or a financial opening that you were not even looking for. These are not coincidences, they are direct responses from Allah, showing you that your generosity is unlocking Rizq. The Prophet Muhammad taught us that charity extinguishes calamities, and many people have experienced relief from difficulties shortly after giving. So when you see this pattern in your life, where giving leads to blessings returning quickly, take it as a clear sign that Allah is preparing you for even more. Generosity is also a shield. It protects you from arrogance, greed, and the temptation to misuse wealth. When Allah inspires you to give before you become wealthy, He is strengthening your heart so that when the wealth does arrive, it does not control you. Instead, you control it by channeling it in ways that please Him. Many people fail when wealth comes to them suddenly, because they never learned how to give or share, but those who have practiced generosity in small amounts will naturally continue the habit when wealth increases. This is why your sudden urge to give is such a powerful sign. It shows that Allah is preparing you not just to receive wealth, but to use it with responsibility. There is also a spiritual sweetness that comes with giving, a joy that fills the heart in a way nothing else can. When you give and see the relief on someone's face, when you hear the dua of gratitude from someone you helped, or when you know that your small action eased someone's pain, it creates a satisfaction that wealth alone cannot provide. Allah places this sweetness in your heart as a reward, but also as encouragement, so that you continue to give. And the more you give, the more Allah gives you, because He loves to see His servants using their blessings to spread mercy on earth. So when you feel a sudden urge to be generous, when you find joy in giving, when you notice compassion growing in your heart and opportunities flowing back to you after acts of charity, understand that this is a powerful sign from Allah. He is preparing you for bigger wealth by first teaching you to share, to purify, and to value the blessing of giving.